Hello, everybody. My name is Samantha Rodriguez from IAL. I am in the 11th grade. I'm in the 11th grade, and I'm going to be interviewing a good friend of mine, Robert. Well, Bob.
I'm Dr. Robert Fullilove. I'm a professor and an associate dean at the Mailman School of Public Health at Columbia University. I'm someone who's been involved with public health work since 1986. And I'm really happy to have an opportunity to chat with you, Samantha.
It is nice to meet you too. So, Bob, how did Hike the Hikes happen, and what is it really?
Yeah, so Hike the Heights is about to have its 17th occasion, its 17th event. It is something that we've done annually, always the first Saturday in June. And it's an opportunity for folk to, amongst other things, engage in the joys of walking. As a professor of public health, I'm very concerned about how little Americans are at this moment engaged in any kind of physical activity. We're very aware that being sedentary, that is to say, doing nothing but sitting around and uh, watching Netflix and zooming away and binging away your weekends, is actually bad for your health. Hike the Heights is an effort to get people walking. It tries to get people not only to walk, but to explore the series of parks that exist in Manhattan, beginning with Central Park, which is the starting point for our hike, and ending at High Bridge Park up here in Washington Heights. There are a variety of little pocket parks that are nearby. And because we're very clear that parks are places that help people become physically active, getting people walking, and then getting them to explore parks where they can do so many other things has always been at the core of why we do this. But we're also interested in the fact that if you go from 110th to say 173rd Street, you will walk through Harlem as well as Washington Heights. Now, these are two communities of color that have a lot in common, but they don't always see eye to eye, if you will, on how to sort of understand life in New York. Some of this is because of culture. Some of this is because of language differences. Some of it is because of history. Whatever. We're very invested in uniting the two neighborhoods, uniting two communities of color, if you will, and making sure that they understand their similarities as well as their differences. Hike the Heights, which allows people to sort of walk through these neighborhoods and maybe meet with neighbors that they haven't seen or chatted with before. It offers them an opportunity to get to know each other, to get to know the neighborhood, and once again, engage in a lot of physical activity that we in medicine and public health know is essential for your health and well-being. So let me stop there.
So, in general, how do you get people to get involved? Like, do you get elderly to get involved, children to get involved? What is your age group specifically?
Everybody should be included. Now, I don't know, could you guess that I'm 77 years old? That I'm a guy who's pushing, the age of 80? I'm a senior citizen. I think I look very good for an old guy. And you know why? Because I walk all the time. I am an inveterate walker. It's something that I did to survive open heart surgery that happened as a result of my having congestive heart failure. So the doctors told me, well, you want to keep this from happening again? Be more physically active and walk. That was 18 years ago. And I think that because I followed their advice, I want other people to have the same benefits that I've had as a result of being so physically active. And what could be better than walking on a summer day in Manhattan when the birds are out, the sun is shining, and one is really happy to be in the world and doing well. So it's not just the physical activity. I think emotionally, it's good to be out in nature, especially after all of these months of confinement as a result of COVID-19.
So, how do you still manage to motivate people to get involved even with COVID around?
I try to get people like you, Samantha, to spread the word that this is a good idea. I try to make sure that if you're motivated to do it, you might bring family and friends and you'd become a part of it. In fact, you may not know this, but because you're interviewing me, you now are obligated to be there on Saturday, June 5th, 2021, when we do this. I expect to see you with a camera, a microphone, a crew, everybody. In all seriousness, what we do try to do is get as many people who are in a position to spread the word, like you, to let people know that this is a good thing to do. It's a morning on a Saturday in June. Why not? And why not be a part of something that engages you, your neighbors, and an activity that we know is going to promote health and maybe prevent disease. In other words, we hope that the activity itself and the message that surrounds it, walk for good health, will be things that people will respond to, that they'll vibrate with, and that they'll join us in celebrating. That's sort of the hope.
Well, then I'm bringing my grandmother with me
That's sweet.
because type of person, she would love it. But in all seriousness, how has COVID impacted the foundation itself? Like, how do you guys still manage to make such a promotion to continue going forward? And where will it take place, honestly?
Uh, you know, this is a really good question. Part of what we've done, because of the isolation that was caused last year, was to have very small, very localized activities. This year, we're basically telling people wherever you are in the world, you can have a hike in your local area that will allow you and your neighbors to sort of reacquaint yourself with your neighborhood. Hiking, walking is just basically a good idea. So if we can't all do it together, at its absolute peak, Hike the Heights engaged as many as 1,500 people on a Saturday. This time we're hoping to have a lot smaller group, but to have many groups all over the country, really, and if not all over the world, joining us. The founder of this program is Mindy Thompson Fullilove, my former wife and somebody I work with today. We're being Zoomed. Hi.
My little sister, everybody.
Hi, little sister. So you got to bring her along too. She looks like a hunter.
He's a very energetic. Woo, no.
I see that.
Hi, Morning Bird.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we do a lot of work in, of all places, France. In fact, we got this idea from colleagues in the nation of France who often are all about getting people physically active. Paris is a place where you love to walk, and we spend a lot of time there. So we've had people from Paris join us. And the idea, again, is that it's a kind of a way of being in solidarity with others, because using Zoom, as we're doing it now, we're really hoping that people will be joined virtually as well as physically in their own neighborhoods, just to get a sense of solidarity, something to get us past the problems that were created by COVID-19, when last year we were isolated, couldn't be together, and suffered from the terrible lack of contact that was so much a part of the pandemic. This is our way of getting past that. This is our way of getting beyond it. And we think that people are longing to be out of doors again. And now that the CDC is finally admitting that it's probably safer to be outside than to be inside, a lot of people who've been afraid that they will be exposing themselves to this virus by going out will now feel encouraged to do what they need to get physically active again and sort of rejoin the world. Hike the Heights, we hope, is going to be an opportunity to do that.
yeah. And that sounds like an amazing thing to do to get people to get motivated again about going outside, because the paranoia that is surrounding us altogether throughout our day lives. But hopefully, I hope everyone takes this information as a way to be motivated to go outside again. I would definitely love to go and hike, and I would take my grandmother with me and a little munchkin of a sister. But thank you for coming here and letting me interview you about this. And yeah, this is a wrap.
That was terrific. Thank you very much. I really appreciated the opportunity, and I loved how well you did as an interviewer. Congratulations.
Thank you.